history of our country.
The Democrat Party is actually working against religion, against freedom, and shutting down churches. I see the Holy Spirit, the evidence of the Holy Spirit working in the president when he takes the kind of actions he does.
We want justice for George Floyd and his family. Everybody agrees on that. But this utter destruction and violence is not the way to do that.
And President Trump brought this back again to the country.
With Joe Biden, he hasn't even condemned Antifa. Just think about that for 1 minute. He hasn't condemned the rioters.
If you voted for Trump, you ain't black.
Yeah, you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
I have to look at myself and black, because some people say, Herschel, you're not black. I'm like, no, I am black.
HBCUs and the things that the president has done to invest and to support the black community, that's how we grow out of this.
Defunding the police is insane. The police are what protect us all from anarchy.
We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will make America great again.
Welcome to Team Trump Online.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Army for Trump. I'm Erin, Principal Deputy Communications Director on President Trump's campaign. And this evening, we've got an incredible show lined up for you. We will start the evening with Dennard from the Republican National Committee. Paris, how are you?
You know what, Erin, I am so glad to be back here on Real Talk. This is such a fabulous platform, an opportunity for us to really talk to the American people directly and share about the good things that President Trump is doing, not just 1 year ago, 2 years ago, but the things that he's doing right now to improve the lives and put Americans first. It is really a great honor to be with you, and I'm thankful for the opportunity.
We are so excited to have you tonight. And you talked about all the hard work President Trump has done. We just saw incredible economic numbers that came out in May with 2.5 million jobs as America begins to reopen from the coronavirus. And we've seen a lot of upheaval in our country ever since the tragic death of George Floyd. It is quite a time for our country, and President Trump has stepped up to make historic inroads into the Black community and deliver historic results for the Black community as we work through this as a nation to face the crisis and the aftermath of the death of George Floyd. President Trump has been stern that protest is allowed, obviously, in this country, and we encourage peaceful protest, but rioting, looting, they have no place in this country. And the president is the president of law and order. He wants to make sure that is restored as quickly as possible. What can you tell us about what's being done by President Trump to safely get America through these difficult times?
You know, one of the things I really appreciate about the president is his willingness to listen. A lot of times we have leaders who just want to act and say, I know what's best and I'm going to do it, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm not going to have anybody else's input. That's not how President Trump is. I think it comes from the root of his background being a businessman, being more collaborative, getting everybody's opinion, even diverse opinions of people that don't necessarily agree with you 100% of the time. This administration has been one of the most transparent and open administrations to receiving information, voices, and input from a wide variety of people. So what we have seen is the president meet with Black American leaders. We've seen the president meet with law enforcement, getting a perspective from them, but also getting the perspective from faith-based leaders. We've seen the president do this. We've seen the vice president do this. This is something that is important because the president understands the moment, and he wants to have less rhetoric and more action. But action has to come after listening, and that's something that a responsible leader, in my opinion, does. And so as the president works to formulate what his decision is going to be it executive order or be it supporting what's going on the Hill, he's going to listen first, and he's going to take the input. He's going to respond to the community, and he has an understanding that law and order is something that Americans not only need, but want. When the president talks about being the law and order president, Erin, it's because he understands the plight of the Black community, specifically the Black small business owner. If you just step back a minute and look at what we had to go through as a nation during and after COVID-19, the disproportionate impact that it had on the Black community from a health perspective is profound. The disproportionate impact that it had on the Black community, especially Black small business owners, is equally as profound. And so what the president is seeing on the television sets is unacceptable when it comes to the rioting and the looting and the violence and the destruction of property. As a small business owner, as someone who has been an entrepreneur who has built buildings and built businesses and had to do payroll, he has a unique understanding of what Black American small business owners are going through. So when he says law and order, when he talks about protecting the cities, when he stands firmly against defunding the police, it's because he knows that these Black small business owners need protection. If they were able to survive through COVID-19 and got PPP and other resources to help them survive these turbulent times because of no fault of their own, and then to get to the point where these lawless Antifa and other lawless individuals came in and agitators to destroy Black businesses, the president says, no, not in this country. I am for the peaceful protesters. I'm for justice, but I'm also for law and order so that we can protect America's small businesses and property. It's an important step, and it's a true mark of his leadership.
I mean, you really hit the nail on the head there when we talk about President Trump listening, engaging, and protecting people across this country and the Black community. This is a president who has stepped up when we have heard Democrats pay lip service to the Black community, to minority communities in this country. President Trump has actually stepped up to deliver for these communities. We're talking about historically low unemployment for the Black community before the coronavirus. We're talking about PPP. We are talking about opportunity zones and deregulation and the great economic foundation that President Trump built, historic funding for historically Black colleges and universities. Yes. This is a president who time and again will step up to meet the moment. Which policy, and I know there are so many for this president with an incredible record of accomplishment, do you think is having the most profound impact on the Black community in the United States?
To me, there's the foundation for everything is the education, and the president's influence and support for two education policies. One, school choice. I am a product of school choice. My mother, when we grew up, she was a single mom, did the best she could. We were in South Phoenix, Arizona, and it didn't have the best public schools. My grandmother lived in a part of town that had better public schools, so we used my grandma's address because that's where we used to live. We did that because the Tempe school district was a lot better. We were doing school choice when they didn't even allow us to do it because my mother knew that she had to give her son a fighting chance to succeed. And I was fortunate enough to go to better schools and end up going to a private school in high school through work study. I had to work to go there, but it propelled me to be able to go to a great institution known as Perrine University after high school. But school choice is something that Black Americans support, Democrats support. It has bipartisan support, except for when it comes to Joe Biden, because the Democrats are not the party of school choice and certainly aren't the party of charter schools, because we know Joe Biden said if he were president, he would get rid of charter schools, which is horrific. Then you move into the second phase of education for the president, and it's historic support for HBCUs, also known as historically Black colleges and universities. President Trump has been a champion for HBCUs from day one, whether it was getting rid of the loans that really held them back because of Hurricane Katrina, that really set them back financially. And they fought every single year since Katrina to get relief. And for 8 years, they didn't get it under President Obama. But when President Trump heard about it, he acted and pushed the Congress to do so. When it comes to the president supporting Title III Part F funding under the Future Act, that was for the first time in history. Think about it. The first time in American history, the United States president actually permanently funded HBCUs for 10 years. This is something that is profound, as well as increasing HBCUs by 13%. He has been a champion for these schools. These schools provide opportunities for a lot of Black Americans who want to have a fighting chance at higher education. This president has been a champion for the Black community on issues that we care most about when it comes to the education, not only of children, but of young adults. He's been our champion.
Education is so important, and you really talked about it here. This is a president who has listened. You mentioned how he heard about the funding. He has stepped up and he put it forward for 10 years to allow certainty in education funding for these historically Black colleges and universities. I mean, this president has made such big policy decisions happen for the Black community. And these are messages that this campaign with the RNC is fighting hard to get out there. We want to be able to engage, bring this message directly into communities. And we have talked before about how we're going to open up these Black Voices for Trump community centers across the country as we are beginning to in-person campaign again, which I know we are all excited to hit the road and get President Trump's message out there. What can you tell us about these Black Voices for Trump community centers?
Well, Erin, first of all, I want to set the record straight as it relates to what we did as a virtual campaign. You know, I'm proud to be an advisory board member of Black Voices for Trump. And when COVID-19 had to put an end to in-person campaigning, this campaign overnight flipped the switch on virtual campaigning and never missed a beat, especially with the Black community. So in all of the cities where the community centers were supposed to open up, in Jacksonville and Orlando and Tampa and Atlanta and other Philadelphia, we never stopped campaigning. We went online. We did virtual trainings. We were engaging with the people online, and that's a positive thing. Now, as we're going towards the second phase, which is the reopening, which is so needed of the economy, with respect to what the local leaders are allowing us to do, the community centers are going to open. The president is resolute in having these community centers. He's resolute in having direct engagement with the Black community, and that's why these unprecedented, historic, exciting community centers for Black Voices for Trump are going to open in 15 cities across the country in urban areas. They're going to be staffed by people from the community. These things have significant financial investments behind it. It's not enough just to say we have Black people on the staff. It's not enough for someone just to put out a tweet. This Trump campaign, and working in conjunction with the RNC, is committed both in human capital, but also financially, to put our money where our mouth is and really make a difference to bring our message directly to the people, directly to the Black community. And I'm excited that these Black community centers are going to be opening. We're going to be phone banking, doing block walks, managing volunteers, and doing field work. We are going to be directly engaging, and this has never happened in the history of modern politics, especially with the Republican, but it's only happening because President Trump has a sincere desire to earn the respect and the vote of the Black community, and he's never stopped since he ran back in 2016.
President Trump is such a bold leader. He has been breaking the mold in campaigns, and he is about to do it again with these Black Voices community centers as we get ready to get out there into the community. You're right, we never stopped even as we socially distance from each other, but now we're going to be there in person in these communities. Can you walk us through a little bit of how this idea came together for us to put up these physical stores? Because people have been saying, oh, well, you know, physical doesn't always matter that much. Having that isn't that big of a deal, especially when we can reach so many voters. But being there is important. And what kind of inroads we see the campaign and the president and the RNC all together making between now and Election Day to deliver 4 more years?
It comes from the president's real sincere desire to do something bold, to do something that's never been done before when it comes to engagement with the Black community. So the campaign and the RNC looked at what could be done and what has been done in the past. We examined the fact that, yes, you can do advertising in Black radio and Black media. Check mark, we've done it, we will continue to do it, and we will do more. Yes, we can hold events and have listening sessions and things of that nature in the community. That's been done before. We will continue to do that right now through November. But something that has never been done is going directly to where Black people live, Black people work, and say, we want to bring the campaign and our message directly to you. You don't have to go outside of your neighborhood to find the news about what we're doing. You don't have to go find it from a radio station or a newspaper or a magazine or a tweet or social media or a website. We are going to come directly to you because we respect you. We want to earn your vote and be right where you are because we have a record that the president has accomplished in this 3.5 years that is substantial, that is significant, that is historic, and we want to take it directly to the people because they deserve to have a presence in the community. And so it was a sincere desire to take our message right to where people are and say, we are here, we're with you, we're going to fight with you, and we're going to fight for you, and we're going to work to get your vote. And so I'm excited that what's going to happen around the community centers are going to be listening sessions and meet and greets and happy hours and ways for us to bring people in and to have some sort of education as to what the president is doing, because we know the fake news media doesn't want the information to get out. They are withholding the truth. They're withholding the facts because they're scared. They're frightened. That's why Joe Biden said you ain't black, because he wants to engage in voter suppression because he doesn't want free thinking, independent black people to say, let me give President Trump and the Republican Party a first look or even a second look. So we're going to do that. We're going to share the message directly with the people, and we're excited about doing that. And we believe that this message and the president's record is going to continue to resonate. We're going to fight for the vote, and we're going to take it all the way to November and see the president be reelected for all Americans.
We are so looking forward to getting out across the country, opening these Black Voices community centers. Paris, thank you so much for joining today's broadcast. It's always great to catch up with you. Everybody stay tuned. We will be right back after this break.
We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And we will make America great again. And the best is yet to come.
We know you want to give Donald Trump 4 more years to fight for you in Washington, but he isn't just up against Joe Biden. He's up against the Democrat fundraising machine, and he needs all the help he can get. Don't just assume because his opponent hasn't completed a single sentence that this campaign is over. Crazy things happen, like this woman becoming Speaker of the House. Support the president today by texting Trump to 88022. Donald Trump is counting on every single one of his supporters to text Trump to 88022 now.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Hey everybody, I'm Lara Trump. The race to November is heating up, and the Trump campaign is gearing up to work harder than ever before to secure 4 more years for President Trump. To achieve this historic win, we need you, your friends, your neighbors, and your families to join our movement. Ready to fight for President Trump? Text ENLIST to 88022 and register at armyfortrump.com today.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Perrine. Thank you again for joining us for this evening's Army for Trump online broadcast. We have a great rest of the broadcast for you tonight. Joining me right now, we have Senior Advisor to the Trump campaign, John Pence, whose birthday was yesterday. Happy belated birthday, John.
Thanks, Erin. Great to be here.
And also joining us tonight is Alex Garcia, Florida Political Director. Alex, it's good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
But as we go ahead and we begin the campaign, starting in-person events again, we are so excited. And we've got a national weekend of action coming up. Alex, my understanding is Florida has set some big records and beat them before. What can we expect from the team out in Florida as we head into this national weekend of action?
Oh, and we've definitely broken records. Going into this weekend, we've made 7.7 million contacts to voters in Florida. And by the end of the weekend, we'll be well over 8 million voters that we've contacted. And we expect a big week of action. And beyond that, we're going to keep on breaking records in Florida.
Just like most of America, we saw the Trump campaign had to socially distance and begin a much more aggressive push digitally. But now we're starting to get back and do in-person events. John, what can you tell us about the plan as we all begin to get together again in person and talk about fighting for 4 more years for President Trump?
Erin, we need to return safely and responsibly into the field, and we are going to do just that, because we know that by joining every community and every corner across America, we can keep America great and reelect this president. This is a movement. This is a movement to put America first. And I've seen firsthand over the last 4 years since I've been part of the Trump campaign that Donald Trump is growing the Republican Party. And as Paris mentioned before, we are going to continue to go into every community across America to help spread the message as to why Donald Trump has earned 4 more years.
It's exciting to be able to get back together. I know I'm so excited for our upcoming rally to be back on the road, because not only is there nothing like a Trump rally, but there's nothing like being able to talk to Americans across the country about the work that this president has done to make our country stronger, safer, and better than ever before. Alex, as the team begins to switch to safely beginning in-person campaign events, what are you hearing? What's the mood? How's everyone feeling?
Well, as you know, when COVID, the pandemic first started happening, we switched this campaign to a virtual campaign within 24 hours, made lots of contacts. And I'll tell you that there's a lot of excitement on the ground. The volunteers are ready to get out there. They keep hearing the unfair treatment that this president is getting in the news every day. So they want to get out there and they want to talk to voters and they want to tell them their story and why they support this president. They're not getting from the mainstream media, but they know that they're going to get it from these volunteers that are going door to door.
That's right. It is so important for people to join the Army for Trump, to get trained and to help get the facts out there, to push past the fake news and to help be the president's voice on the ground. John, we also know that the president's going to have a rally coming up in just a little less than a week. We know that there's nothing like a Trump rally. We've been to so many together. But what are you going to be able to tell the American people? What is it like to have a Trump rally? What does it mean to be able to have the president back out there standing in front of all of these supporters again? What are we going to see?
Well, President Trump recently said that a Trump rally is a celebration. It's a celebration of what makes America great. We love our country, and we are committed to ensure prosperity, security, and economic opportunity for every American in this country. That's why we're united as a Republican Party behind President Trump, and you will see that unity in Oklahoma next week.
Oh, the only word I can probably say about the rally is excited. Everybody's excited to go to Tulsa, to have another Trump rally, the music, the president's speech. I mean, we know how excited he gets to go on stage and be able to push past the fake news on his own, and he hasn't been able to do it for 3 months. So next Friday is going to be such a treat. And Alex, what can we tell people who want to join the Army for Trump, who want to become part of this movement, especially in Florida? What's the best way to join the team?
So, Erin, as you know, we have a lot of staff on the ground. We have staff in every single part of the state. So I'd encourage anyone that wants to get involved, they can go to armyfortrump.com. That's the first bit. And the second bit, which is even better, which is my favorite, is go to your app store on your smartphone and download the Trump 2020 app, because everything that you need to do to engage is on that app. And one of our field organizers out in the field will be sure to reach out and make sure that you become that Trump team leader to make sure we deliver that message to the voters.
It's going to be such a run from now until Election Day. John, any final thoughts?
Alex said it best. Get involved. You using your voice to explain to your friends why President Trump, why Republicans need your vote is going to be the best contributor to help reelect President Trump. We're a resource here at the Trump campaign. Download the official Trump campaign app, and we look forward to seeing you all out in the road very soon.
Alex, we'll have to touch base again soon, because I want to hear the record-breaking numbers the Florida team's about to put out to help President Trump. Guys, thank you so much. Alex, as always, it's good to see you.
Great to see you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, John, it's always good to see you, my friend.
See you all soon. Take care.
And if you at home want to join the Army for Trump, Alex and John are right. It's as simple as going to armyfortrump.com. There are a ton of ways to get involved. Whatever time you can share and whatever talent you have to give to this campaign, you can be part of this movement. If it means becoming a digital activist, getting trained and joining Alex and his team in Florida on the ground or in any state across the country, find a way to become involved. And you can also, as John mentioned, download the Trump 2020 campaign app. It's available for both Apple and Android. You can earn points for great prizes, including early entry into a rally coming to a city near you soon, or even better, a photo with the president if you earn the points for it. Stay involved and stay engaged. Make sure you also text Trump to 88022. Sign up to get the campaign's information and text from the president straight to your phone. And as always, make sure to stay involved and stay engaged. Together, we are the force to help get the facts out there, to fight for President Trump, and to make sure that America has the best chance at continuing to be the greatest nation with President Trump and Vice President Pence at the helm. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. Have a great evening. We will see you on the trail soon.
We choose truth over facts.
A composite that our sketch artist put together after interviewing Biden event attendees is unveiled.